Shen Miao? Feng and Ning could not help but be startled. Shen Miao and her sat at the same table on normal days in Guang, Wentang, and naturally saw it clearly than others. That was indeed Shen Miao. There was no mistake. These days Shen Miao's temperament has calmed down quite a lot, even though she used to be very quiet. But she no longer followed behind Shen Yue and Shen King, and say something ignorantly or stupidly. Thus her quiet appearance was actually not bad. Feng and Ning thought that Shen Miao only became smarter but did not think that if she were to dress up formally, she would shock everyone. Because of the recuperation after falling into the water, she had slimmed down a lot. Normally one would not notice, but from today, her chin was sharper a little, making her previous appearance of 11 or 12 years old look like a young budding beauty at 14 of age. It was as if the baby that was curled up in the nest of beasts had finally woke up and the claws were brandished for the first time. Pei Zikai was also at the male side of the banquet. Even though he was just a teacher in Guang Wentang, everyone respected talented people and he had some status in the official circles. To be this talented at a young age, if he would to enter the official circles, he would definitely be able to hold a position. Everyone in the official circles were smart and know that in order to pay for their future, even though Pei Lang had yet to go to that direction. Shen Miao's gaze swept over to the male side of the banquet and landed on Pei Lang for a moment. She knew that in today's academy examinations, even though Pei Lang was an accounting teacher, during the contending of talents, it was then when students was able to challenge the teachers. Pei Lang's literary talent on the circulation of law was well founded, which impressed Fu Shuyi. Afterwards, in order to win over this talent to his side, Fu Shuyi made a lot of actions before finally gaining the powerful force of Pei Lang. In this lifetime, this matter absolutely must not happen. Pei Lang was sensitive and felt that young ladies, who was sitting far away, was on himself and observing like a hunter watching its valuable prey. That made him felt a strange feeling in his heart. He looked over, but Shen Miao had long turned her head over. The Darrens around were full of praise. The daughter of General Shen has such an air at such a young age. One must not underestimate her future. Her appearance is also good, a blue-clad youth said. Originally did not realize that this Shen Miao was considered a beauty. When youths look at young ladies, they only see their appearance. Unfortunately, she is a stupid, foolish thing. After Kai Lin recovered from his short astonishment, he was dissatisfied that everyone was looking at Shen Miao, and ignored Shen Yue, so he coldly scoffed. "You are then a stupid, foolish thing." An unexpected voice exploded in his ear. Kai Lin jumped in front and saw a red satin-clad red dumpling staring at him. He was short, but his imposing manner was great. "Apologies." A green-clad youth rushed over to Kai Lin and smiled. "My younger brother was rude and have offended." Kai Lin wanted to scold someone, but when he saw that the other person was the heir of Pingnan Bo, Su Ming Feng, he swallowed the words that was at the edge of his tongue. Su Ming Feng was Si Jingxing's close friend, who would dare to mess with him. Eldest brother, Su Ming Lang tugged the edge of Su Ming Feng's clothes. "That older sister is very pretty. You should marry her as your wife." Su Ming Feng's lips stiffened. Fortunately, Su Ming Lang's voice was very soft and no one heard it. He leaned over slightly and asked, "Does second younger brother know young lady Shen?" "I do not know." Su Ming Lang played with his fingers innocently. After that, Su Ming Feng did not speak anymore. Shen Miao walked behind Ren Wan, Yun's entourage, and to the female area of the banquet. Generally at the female side of the banquet, the Furens and ladies would sit randomly with their familiar and close friends, and this was the same with the young ladies. But Shen Miao, other than going to Guang Wentang, she would be at home, not including Shen Yue and Shen King. No one in Guang Wentang was willing to be friends with her. She was also not angry nor worried and just find a seat to sit down. She was not afraid of these young ladies isolating her, but on the contrary, enjoying this calm and quiet feeling. Those young ladies saw that Shen Miao was dressed differently today and became somewhat jealous. They wanted to see her making a fool of herself and purposely isolated her, but they saw Shen Miao sitting down by herself and did not appear to be miserable. There were chessboards and leaf cards. that were on the table so that the young ladies would not feel bored. She thought for a little before picking the chess pieces from the chess basket and started to play against herself. She makes no sense of any of the first scholarly arts previously because of the second and third household deliberate actions to increase her hate for them. After she got married to Fu Shuyi, she had no time to learn. Thus, when she returned from Qin country and faced the exquisite Mai Furin, who could sing and dance, she felt inferior in her heart. Those concubines in the palace compared her and Mai Furin and said that she was a vulgar and ignorant because she came from a military lineage. That was why Fu Shuyi would not even see this kind of empress like her. However, it was not necessary for one to be a talent in chess to play chess, even though she did not know how to play chess. But because of those years when she went to Qing country for Fu Shuyi, she studies meticulously on a number of the art of war. She did not know how to play chess but knew how to use troops. This was a chess of war. The noble females looked from afar and saw Shen Miao's calm and composed self. This kind of indifference and attitude of her in a higher status divided her apart from the rest, as if she was high up and the rest of them were of lower status. Fifth young lady has changed a lot today. Yi Furin smiled at Renwan Yun and said, she seemed to have become an adult. It was not good for her to say that. Shen Miao had clearly suppressed Shen Yila and Shen King and can only remind Renwan Yun in a roundabout way. How could Renwan Yun not know? She was good at observing others' words and gestures, and throughout the walkover, everyone's eyes were not at her nor Shen Yue or Shen King but was obviously on Shen Miao, who was walking at the back. She was fuming with rage in her heart. It seemed that Shen Miao was really putting a lot of effort this time. She knew that Prince Ding would be present at the academy examinations and trying all ways to attract Prince Ding's attention and compete with her kinger. She picked up the teacup and looked over at the male side of the banquet as she laughed. Is it not? Now that her age is no longer young. Old tie-dye dotted on little five, saying that since eldest brother-in-law is not present, she said to me just before we leave that I have to take a good look if there is anyone suitable. Chenru Kiwas, who was sitting by the side, vision suddenly moved. Take a good look? Shen Yila and Shen King were older in age as compared with Shen Miao, but they have to look for Shen Miao first. Naturally, it was not because of the kindness of old Shen Furin. Old Shen Furin hated the entire family of the first household, so how would Shen Miao have anything good out of it? Chenru Kiwa's gaze landed on Shen King, who was talking to Yi Pei Lan. Renwan Yun seemed to be urgently settling Shen Miao's marriage before Shen Shen's return. Why? Was it because Shen King was also in love with Prince Ding and want to remove the biggest threat for Shen King? Just as she was thinking, she heard a racket forming at the male side of the banquet. Zhang Furin mentioned, Prince Yu of first rank has arrived. Shen Miao, who was contemplating the next move, paused and the white piece immediately fell onto the board. She raised her eyes and looked towards the male side of the banquet with eyes full of calm. Prince Yu of first rank, in the past lifetime, old Shen Furin, wanted to marry her off to that crippled and sexual lowlife who was currently 42 years old. If she wasn't obsessed with Fu Shuyi and push her way to be his dependent, most likely she would become a pile of bones in the residence of Prince Yu.